Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe. I just came on real quick to do an intro for a video with my friend Aaron. I'm sure you guys remember him. He's been in quite a few of my vlogs. But we're back again from with the vlog that we filmed actually a couple days ago. So I just wanted to introduce that and wanted to say hope you guys like it. If you do, leave a thumbs up. Leave me a comment and consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. So without further ado, here we go. Back to my vlog. I know it's been a while since I've done one. Today Aaron is joining me as well. He's back for another one. And today we will be talking about 3D printing houses.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? 3D printing houses?
Crazy, right?
Here. Get out of here. 3D printing
So,
a house.
yes, 3D printing houses, and I believe you said that they can complete one of these 3D printed houses in 2 days.
Yeah, the prototype the one that they are gonna show in the Czech Republic, it's
Yeah.
like they put it together in 48 hours, and then they're gonna like float it down some river, maybe in Prague. I don't know where it's gonna be at, but do a brief scan through. If they can produce a prototype like that fast, then how fast can they produce the real thing,
Right,
comparatively to like another house that they would build in a more traditional manner.
right. Yeah, it's one of those things that you got to watch out for because this is going to be the future. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh
it's
yeah.
things are rapidly advancing, and as you said earlier, it's going to put people out of work. It's just
Yeah.
it's
That's one of
more
those. Yeah.
one of those
It's an
things.
unfortunate side effect. It's an unfortunate side effect of technological advancement is, um, you know, um, the elimination of labor.
Well, I would
Opportunities.
say, I'm sorry. I would say, where do you think, we should draw the line then? If we don't, we're trying to, not put people out of work, but we're also rapidly advancing as far as technology goes. So where does the line come from? Or where does the line, where is it at? You know?
Yeah, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. Um, I think we just should focus on ways to employ people as opposed to drawing a line on progression.
Right.
I would say, okay, well, we have this issue of, finding people employment because of jobs being eliminated. But at the same time, how can we then start from a younger age to, prepare people for the ever evolving landscape of the world that's being impacted by technology?
Right.
Um, but doesn't eliminate the problems that are on the horizon. But that's how I
No,
would look at it.
right. Yeah. You're right. It doesn't, eliminate the problems. I mean, especially with, COVID and everything like that, things are the way people work are changing. A lot more people are staying at home when they work and everything like that. So things are definitely changing as far as technology goes, and thanks to this coronavirus, it's also impacting the way people do things. Um, so I mean, you think about it, you can have an employee who could catch coronavirus, or you can have some kind of artificial intelligence even to take that person's spot, or use something automated like when they're building the houses. Instead of having multiple people building a house out of wood, you just got what, 3 or 4 people running a machine that's 3D printing a house. you
Yeah, that's
know
wild. That's wild.
yeah,
When I look at the videos after being exposed to the article, I was just like, wow, like, and they actually had a two-story 3D printed house that they built as well. So
yeah,
it seems to, I don't know if the limitations are even on the technology, because the one article just showed like a one-story kind of, they said they designed it based on like microorganisms or like protozoas or whatever, and that's how like the shape of the house was. So it was pretty peculiar,
yeah.
really. But they also had another house that was 2 stories. I think it was in Belgium or something like that, that
Mhm.
they were revealing the other day. But the effects, like the economic effects, like half the cost of traditional housing, much faster to build, so on and so forth. and almost the impact on the housing market would be quite dramatic, I think, if you start like mass producing these kinds of houses. Um,
Yeah.
but I just thought also from like a humanitarian perspective, the ability to construct these houses in like third world areas from 3D printing, right? It's like, oh, we're gonna come in with this technology, yada yada yada, and the cost is low, so it's more affordable for countries that haven't ascended economically yet. They haven't exactly hit the stride yet, due to whatever factors, right? But so that's good for them too,
Yeah,
whereas
yeah. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay.
I was just gonna say, in places like third world countries where people aren't as, are not at the economic scale of some other countries who are in a better position for them, not only can they build these houses quick, but I'm sure they're a lot cheaper than your traditional house, which would make it more affordable for people who live in poor sections of the world. It could provide them with, shelter and in a quick way too.
And it can be even in modern countries, first world countries that have dilapidated areas and the
Yeah.
costs involved in the reinvestment into infrastructure. This
Yeah.
could totally like aid in that process in reducing fiscal costs. It's like, oh, we're gonna invest blah 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 $1 trillion. And where's that money coming from? It's coming from down the road, from people who haven't even been born yet, that they're already pre-taxing. Things like this can impact the economy of first world countries that are running deficits. So there's just
Right.
so many different impacts this kind of technology that can have on the world, let alone first and third world nations.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, and my one question too is, this is obviously at like a primitive stage, I was wondering, when they get more into it and can do more with it, like you said, the two-story house that they did and everything like that. And I wonder what, how the market's going to be for a home like that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably pay it off a lot faster than a traditional house.
I think it's a great point that you bring up, because also there are a lot of people, particularly in the United States, who have a lot of student loan debt.
Yeah.
So, and that's prohibiting them from actually being able to buy homes,
Hmm.
right? Or even the thought of even like, having one built for them. And so to come in with this kind of opportunity, I think would have some sort of space economically, not only for that segment of people, but also people on the lower tier of the economic rung who want to
Yeah.
own their own house. Like not every, no one wants, not most people don't want to rent for the rest. If they can own their own house, that'd be great.
Right.
So, especially in areas where they're trying to sell plots of land, it's like, oh, I'll just buy this plot of land, maybe somewhere like in conjunction with what you mentioned about the ability to work more remotely. You have
Yeah.
people leaving big city areas now, going out into the rural areas or going into countries and towns.
Mm.
Oh, I'll just buy this cheap plot of land, have them come in and construct, a 3D printed house. Boom, they're done in a matter. They can, in a matter of like weeks or days, have had bought the land, built the house, and then moved all their stuff in. Like, and then they're working remotely, and like total like, to me that's just mind boggling to have that idea even be a possibility,
Right.
whether it's a matter of months or years or wherever that possibility comes down the line.
Yeah, it is. It's a wild time we're living in. I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff that's going on, and I think the fact that you see the diversity of what 3D printers can do on different scales, that leaves doors open for a lot of things as far as 3D printing goes.
Absolutely, for
So,
sure.
yeah, it's, I think you might guess that I'm going to say what I'm going to say, as I said earlier, which I can't get the thought out of my head of one day being able to 3D print a human being.
uh,
I I just can't get that thought out of my head. I mean, you got to draw the line somewhere, I guess, with this stuff. But it's possible. I mean, that if we just keep it at like, say, 3D printing, organs or something like that. So somebody who needs a heart transplant,
doesn't have to wait on some kind of a waiting list to get a heart transplant. They can just 3D print one up, drop it in, and he's good to go.
Yeah,
You
yeah. There's
know,
certainly a limitation on the technology, and there's so many ways that they can use it, or society can use this kind of technology that has, you know, tangible impact on the day-to-day process of how, like, we even went through just like a small handful of like how it can affect, full-on geopolitical processes across the world, let alone like, um, like you said, the immediate health, the health possibilities. But like you said, all this stuff about human beings and this and that is like, let's just put that in the closet and close the door and just that I think they have laws against cloning and all that stuff. So I mean, I don't see how we as a society would permit cloning or even like construction of human beings. I don't
right? Yeah, you're
I
right.
don't yeah, but
I don't know. For some reason, after seeing the Fifth Element and that part where they put her, the machine puts her back together and everything like that, I just always thought like, wow, you know. But no, like not to deter from our, main topic of these 3D printed houses. I mean, I think once they start getting more creative with this, that they can go further than just building a two-story house. You know,
yeah, yeah,
um, especially because right now they're doing mostly just one-story houses that are maybe about the size of a small apartment, I'd
hmm,
say. You know,
yeah,
but the good thing about these 3D printed houses is that they're using concrete to build the whole entire house, which
hmm,
obviously is much sturdier and more reliable than the traditional materials used to build a regular house. So, I mean, you can put these in, places where they get hurricanes or tornadoes or something like that, and they'd probably stand up to it a lot better than wood and, siding would
hmm.
stand up to it.
Yeah, the longevity as well, as you mentioned, the
Yeah,
sturdiness.
yeah,
And especially if you're, like you mentioned, you're in a tropical area. It's a cheap way of rebuilding after natural disasters. You have all these island places that get hit, seasonally. Every year they get hit, and there's just the impacts of this is just it's just you know I think it's a tremendous development. Not necessarily for the construction, the housing market, in terms of its those who are being employed by it, but for society at large, it's a massive development. I mean,
yeah.
uh, you know,
It is.
it's just cheap, affordable housing uh, for people. I think any way that it can happen in a feasible way in the system that exists without making any like changes to the system. This is pretty good. You know,
Right, right.
so. Um,
Yep. But it's overall, I would say it's just an interesting topic just to check out, just to see what we can do these days. Well, not not me and you, but I mean, people with the resources, what they can do. Um, I think it's pretty remarkable. I mean, there's probably tons of applications they could put this to use for as far as building housing and everything like that. Um, I mean, you could help solve like homelessness and like build shelters, like more shelters for people quickly. Um, because I know real quick, I know that around here when it gets cold out and the homeless people don't have anywhere to go, they call a code blue, and that means they can go to a certain location for the evening because it's too cold. Now, if you had more places like that, like they're building, I mean, you could solve a great deal of issues with homelessness. These
yeah,
are affordable. There's things out there to help people with their rent if they're gonna rent something like this. Um, I just think it has a lot of positive applications. Like I said, it could be very very useful in certain situations. So
yeah, and people are looking for alternative ways for housing too. And I guess we can come to a conclusion here, maybe on this, was that there's so many different like housing methods that people are looking for alternative housing. Like for example, you see these huge shipping crates that they're converting into homes. They're just, these tiny houses, this or that. And people are looking for alternative ways to live, And I think this fits right into this category seamlessly and in a far more affordable way.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think that was a great topic. I give you the credit as you found it, so thank you for that.
Well, we looked together and found something. So
Yeah, it was a good find, though. It was a good find. So anyhow, that will wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's the first one in a long time. Again, Aaron was gracious enough to join in.
thanks for
So
having me.
anytime, you know that, anytime. So with that being said, don't forget to leave a comment, leave a like, and to consider subscribing to my channel. And that's going to be it for now. So we will see you guys in the next one.